it's Miguel Iterati and Anthony Piatt. We're back for sort of a truncated Piatt picks, not doing a big one this week. There are a few interesting boxing fights, and we want to do a recap of last week. We had some interesting parlays with some voids on them. Terry Harper was a void. Nico Ali Walsh was a void. Terry Harper, because Cecilia Brækhus woke up with the flu. Nico Ali Walsh, a very controversial draw that most people say he won. But we look at our 7-leg parlay, still paid out. On our 25, only paid out $39 because of those two voids. Would have been much higher. But our pick of the week, Raymond Moratala by knockout for plus 145. That paid well. We were happy to see it. We got to mention Vasily Lomachenko, epic effort against Devin Haney. I took a screenshot at 12:34 of Lomachenko at minus 310. There was one round to go. In the final round, he was as much as minus 450, and you could have got Haney at somewhere around plus 300. I've got him at plus 220 with one round left. Really thought that one was Lomachenko's. It didn't go that way. It goes, well, that's a whole nother podcast.
It is worth mentioning. I think the general consensus is most people are picking that Lomachenko won the fight. And I think Lomachenko at times was busier, but, as he gets older and he's not as fast, some of those flips look a little useless in terms of
I think
how much damage is he doing? Like when he was, coming up, especially like in the fights immediately after the Salido fight where he became a world champion and figured out the pro game and showed his full arsenal. In those times, he was a little more deadly. This time it does look a little bit like pitter patter, and if the judges didn't,
I can see that. I can see that.
I think so. That's what you have to decide for yourself. But at the end, if you were reading it right, if you were reading it like the judges, and Haney was ahead, plus 300 is an awesome little pickup there.
Right. That's right. I have a bit of trick, and as I say, we could go on a little longer about this topic for sure. But I could have seen a draw. I could have seen one way or the other. I think it has to be said, the robbery for me, and it's not a broad stroke, but the robbery for me was that they objected. Lomachenko's camp objected to two of those judges, David Moretti being one of them. And Lomachenko won the 10th round as convincingly as any round. That was the round for Lomachenko. David Moretti gave round number 10 to Devin Haney. It's unexcusable. It's unfathomable. His card of, I believe, 117 or 116. It's ridiculous. Again, I could have seen and accepted and bemoaned, sure, Haney winning, by a round. But 4 or 5 rounds up seems ridiculous to me. So, and again, that 10th round being one of those rounds, no, not the 10th round. The 10th round was Lomachenko's by any fair reading is the way I saw that. So, but most of our picks, regardless of Lomachenko, regardless of Terry Harper's void, most of our picks did well. So, happy with it overall. Our round robins, by the way, paid back. We spread it out on like the 2s, 3s, and 4s, and we were able to get, maybe we put $10 on one, we got $904 back, and that's missing 3 out of 5, or 2 out of 5 it looks like. So my point being is we're getting our money back on those. We live to fight another day. That's why we love the round robins, because we can make them really juicy so that when they do all hit, all that plus money hits, we get paid really well. But we're always trying to get back a little bit.
Now the confession part comes from here is, we've been talking about being 5 for 5, and maybe it was because we talked about it too much that we had a little bit of a breakdown. Why don't you talk about the 8-part parlay, because I know that'll feed into the relentlessness of ASP and Piatt.
How we're coming back. Let's get into that. Hey, I want to shout out real quick to Adam's Boxing Show. Fun show. You guys check that out as well. And they sent me a message that they had tailed along on most of our picks and won some money. So I wanted to say thanks to them for listening. And we're going to have them on as a guest at some point. Luckily, they didn't. They made money on us, and they didn't get burnt too bad by Gary fucking Cully. We don't like to have too many of these guys throughout the year that we have to give that little crown, a little crown that says I'm a fucker. But 6-7 times a year it's gonna happen. It is what it is. We went on a several week. I think since we started the show, we had hit 5 in a row. Hit a few more before that. It's gonna happen occasionally. Look, Gary's a great boxer. He got taken out, unfortunately, in the 3rd round by Jose Felix. 40-6 Jose Felix is. Of those 6, 5 of those losses are in the last 10 fights. He's a 50-50 fighter for the last 10 fights. Something you thought Gary was going to be able to handle. He got rocked. He could never get back. The ref even let it go too long. So Gary Cully messes us up on that one. But what we're going to do is we're going to get right back on that horse. Here's our new BETUS lock. This one will win us $71. A little easier to hit. We're starting a new streak. Alexis Rocha, Oscar Duarte, John Ramirez, Nick Ball, Terry Harper. Let's mention Terry Harper's back after Cecilia Braco's canceled just last week. Terry Harper fighting on 1 week. Ivana Habazin steps in. Jack Catterall, who fought Taylor and probably beat him. Campbell Hatton and Chris Artenstall. We mentioned Lauren Price is her partner. That's the lineup on BETUS. You can join there with the code PIATT. Take advantage of these almost always hitting locks, 75-80% or so. And there you go. That's our new one. We're starting a new train. $71 on your 100.
And let me ask you really quick too. How many of those are available just on BETUS?
Okay, good call. I know that I didn't see as many of these. Let me take a look. Let me take a look real quick at the other most often used app. And it looks like they've got Campbell and Karras, Nick Ball, and Terry Harper and Jack. So that leaves Oscar Duarte, John Ramirez are exclusive to this to BETUS. Yeah, they're exclusive to the 8-leg BETUS. So 2 out of the 8. I think we've been running 4 out of the 8 for a couple of weeks in a row. So that there is some value to these that's built into those that I really, really like. So hey, one more fight I want to mention before we go. No, go ahead.
I was going to do the final little plug for the BETUS because I'm more of an MMA guy, so I haven't really delved into that aspect of boxing. But what you've set up here with the 8-fight parlay and being able to get your money back or close to it and stuff, and able to hit over 50%, easily, over time. It's a real good setup, and you wouldn't be able to do it without that product of BETUS that has a lot more available than some of your other average, or even great sports books. They just have more available. So
yeah, and I love some of the big ones. I use FanDuel and whatnot, but just a couple of weeks ago we had 3 fights on FanDuel, and we had like 18 on BETUS. I mean, I could pick my 8. Instead, there's 10 fights I threw out, because I don't trust this guy or I don't like the odds here. There's enough on there to make these 8 legs that it's more than double. So I just simply can't do it when you only have 3 or even when you only have 9. But when you only have 3, it's obvious I can't make 8, right? But I'm not making these out of only 9 picks and just picking what I can. They're giving me 20-25 picks on BETUS, and I can take which ones I want, the best 8.
and that's why I think they deserve, credit, especially for this little game and tests that we're doing here. They enable that. You couldn't even get to it with other places, and it's good to see. It's good to see
It really is.
because the deal is it's not like, well, every once in a while they have some different fights posted. This is consistently every week they're there.
Yeah, that's right. No, that's right. Even when others have nothing or virtually nothing, you're absolutely right. So love it. BetUS, sign up. Piatt. They help sponsor the show. You'll get 125% deposit bonus, all that good stuff. And so thanks for that. And also subscribe to the show. And one more juicy fight. I don't want to miss this. Mauricio Lara and Lee Wood rematch. They just fought February, I believe, just a few months ago. The interesting thing here is Wood was winning the fight and doing pretty well. And Lara caught him. I believe it was with the left hook that slept him instantly. Wood was out and done. Wood was the favorite in that fight, and Wood is now a plus 235 underdog. Is Wood scared enough to keep his head out of the way this time? Not as cocky? I don't know. You see where I'm going with this. If he doesn't get knocked out, I do believe he wins the fight. Wood wins on points. Lara wins with the knockout. Does Lara get the knockout again? Probably, maybe, probably. At plus 235, a little bit of money to be made if you think Wood does survive, because if he survives, he wins. You might even look into if the fight goes the distance. Might be a fun little bet. Even if you think, So I wonder what that is. We've got to look it up now. Will the fight go the distance? Yes, is a plus 290. So instead of right there, folks, don't take Lee Wood. Lee Wood is going to win more than likely if it goes the distance. He's plus 235. Fight to go the distance is plus 290. So maybe you go 290 in case Lara could win on points. And then maybe a little on Wood. You can mix this up. There's a lot of value in this fight is what I'm saying. If you think Wood can avoid being knocked out, there's a lot of value to be had. That's kind of a sneaky little fight to check out on your different bookies, please.
Yeah, but for the sweet thing about one of the sweet things about it is that you got the exam. I know it only lasts into the third round, but you can actually take a look at it. That, believe it or not, hand-on-hand contact. If you look at what you're watching there, the answer that you need may be in those two rounds.
That's right.
Wood is probably going to get knocked out again, or Wood is probably just got caught, but he looks real sharp. They both decided.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. There's some value there, and honestly, this is one. Again, I'm back to FanDuel now. Just looking at it quickly, it has a lot of the specials. It has a lot of method of victory, round betting. There's a lot of different things you can do. So, folks, I will look into this, and let me just take this opportunity to say I will look into these specials, and I will probably post some closer to the bet. We tend to post our props and our specials on the Sharps app. And if you sign up there, it's a completely free app. You can follow me. They do help sponsor the show. So Piatt 186 really will help us out. It's free. You'll like it. I really think you'd like it. It shows who's betting on what their percentages are. You can choose to share your information or not. I share all my information there, and we'll show a lot of last minute bets on Sharps. So not a huge slate this week, folks, but some pretty decent fights. I really like that rematch. And Terry Harper's back after not being able to fight last week. So I'm glad she put that training camp to use. Minus 500 last week, minus 1,000 this week. Terry will not be the one to break our parlay this week. It would have been last week, possibly not this week, Miguel. Let's go.
Yeah, good. And we'll be back after the fights with another recap and then another reload.
That's right. We appreciate y'all. Subscribe and have a great